How do you deal with not liking your girl anymore? Gear up for a big time serious conversation and either break up or fix it. Hijacking this comment to add that if you're still having sex with her, stop doing that. Women talk about sexual boundaries and respecting yourself all the time, but it's important for us men too. Don't degrade yourself by having sex with a woman you're not emotionally attracted to. No matter how blue your balls get, it will F up your relationship between your body and your mind. When she inevitably asks if you're attracted to her, say no and cite everything you said in this post edit. I'm not saying you should withhold sex out of pettiness or as a way to punish her. My only point is that you shouldn't have sex with a woman you don't love. I know a lot of people do anyway. When I stopped that, she started looking elsewhere and ended up moving out. I was so happy when she was gone. Found you the solution to her problem, man. Firstly, have an honest talk with her. Express to her how you feel and why you feel what you feel. Also, listen to what she says. Afterwards, let some time pass so to see if anything changes, and if not, then dump her. Easy. Now, if you feel and you know that you don't like this person anymore, then go ahead and dump her. Simple as that. As with 90% of relationship advice, the answer is talk about it. Tell her how you feel and what your issues are. Be clear that you're probably not the perfect partner either, but you'd like to open a dialogue about some things that are making you unhappy, and be prepared for the fact that this conversation may end your relationship. And if it does, it's for the best. Hopefully for the best, no matter the outcome. One thing you need to do before you engage in further conversation is study and understand patterns of manipulation. https://www.verywellhealth.com/manipulative behavior 5,214,329 and logical fallacies. https://www.grammarly.com/blog/logical-falllacies/text equals WH 80% 20 IS% 20A% 20 logical 20 fallacy OR% 20 DECEPTIVE% 20 IN% 20 SOME% 20 way. You've already cited one where she starts victimizing herself and then demanding an apology from you. This can be couched in multiple manipulation strategies, all being used to exert control over you and the interaction. You need to be ready and willing to call her on all of these mechanisms, because frankly, the path to resolution is much more important than the offenses themselves. A person will make mistakes or have a certain way about them, but if in the attempt of resolution they simply turn it into a power struggle or use mind games and are willing to destroy your relationship for the sake of winning the argument, then you're screwed. If she refuses to be logical about it, then you will need to decide whether you want to stay with an illogical, emotionally violent and volatile, manipulative and self-centered person for the foreseeable future. Edit. One final note: if you are planning to end things, ensure that you have evidence that you haven't done anything wrong. If this person is as manipulative as you've made her out to be, there's a risk that she will attempt to paint you as some sort of demon to anyone who will listen. If you can pointedly get her to admit that you are a good boyfriend, and you mutually agree on your shortcomings framed in a truthful way, i.e., they are not just convenient blame shifts that she's using to make you out to be the bad guy, and you can get all of that recorded, then you are in good shape. In today's society, you can never be too safe. Good luck with things. Thank you for this. Step 1. Have you tried actually talking to her about it honestly and openly? Step 2. If you can't resolve it and are not compatible, break up. She always victimizes herself and starts the toxic apology asking behavior. Leave. I married someone like this and it only gets worse. Everything about your post and comments here screams that you need to break up. Therapy is a no-go here. You will have to apologize for things you say during it after the therapist is no longer in earshot. Did you talk to her about it in a non-confrontation way? Maybe she is also going through something that causes all of this, and her toxicity isn't due to her not liking you, but more a redirection of something else. Yeah. She always gets angry and says you have to apologize wholeheartedly, a genuine apology, which gets me on my nerves. And she becomes so annoying after that. Like not even let me sleep, for example. Ah yes, I was with one of those once. Worst 4 years of my life. Yeah. Break up, my dude. Don't do this to yourself. Some women are like that when really young, because they're figuring things out, especially in a first time relationship. They don't always stay like that. It's not a full-on, unchangeable character trait, though the pattern may stick in this couple's case. In relationship, past behavior is indicative of future performance. Edit. And when trying to resolve, Op already listed her reaction. Yee. She always victimizes herself and starts the toxic apology asking behavior more likely than not. The pattern will stick. Op needs to decide if he's comfortable being with an emotionally violent person as his partner, or if he wants to move on. Break up, my dude. Break up. You deal with it by breaking up. There is no reason to date someone you don't like. You two sound incompatible and should break up. This implies relationships can never go through rough periods, or that there weren't fixable issues that they ignored that led them to this point. This isn't to say stay in every bad relationship, but if you've moved in with someone, paid any of their bills, took care of them while sick, or licked their asshole, you owe it to yourself to give it a good honest try to fix the relationship. I normally also disagree when Reddit just immediately jumps to break up, but once the relationship becomes toxic, as Op says it is, there's really usually no turning around from that. I have never been in a toxic relationship that didn't become exponentially worse with time. Man, cut that zero before you slip up and have a baby. Yes, the breakup won't be easy, particularly since you live together. It sounds like the relationship is going nowhere fast. I always broke up with them in the nicest way possible. She sounds exhausting. If counseling isn't a good option, I'd cut her loose and let her move on to her next target. It won't take her long to find another, and you will be free. It's called a fake personality or a Venus flytrap personality. Yep. Act nice till you're tied up with them, then become a nightmare once it's hard to get away. Then yeah, lose all stability when someone has the balls to remove ya, or try to get you removed from your own home, because they're the victim. Because you found out they were cheating on you as well as being abusive. Bitch tried to reverse me when I kicked her out by calling the police saying I'd hit her when I was the one covered in bruises. Now that's just neg IQ. Sounds like there is some resentment building on both sides. People that love each other don't always like each other. But when resentment becomes the norm, your relationship is basically circling the drain. Assess your ability to forgive and forget, to give your partner the benefit of the doubt, and to handle small problems with grace. Then ask her to do the same. Resolve to let go of resentment, or let her go. She needs a reality check. Just talk about her behavior and tell her to change or move out. Ultimatums are not great for a relationship, but it sounds like she doesn't respect you. She doesn't have to due to her goals and needs being met. Sit down and have the uncomfortable conversation. Cry. Say you're sorry. Cry some more. Help her pack her things. Drive her home. And go right back to feeling better 20 minutes after she's gone. Some people deeply and seriously want to nest together because you make them feel nuts happy. But other people has let life teach them to use up any available resource. Take it for granted and give back only the bare minimum. Never go into business with these only living for the next hour pukes. And don't live with them. Your home is supposed to be for two things: rest and love. No room for leeching. A succubus has tricked you. You can detach from it, or you can let it drain you until you're dead. HMM. I don't know about that. A succubus would try to be as pleasant and seductive as possible, all while sucking one's soul right out of them. I don't think she would just flip out and verbally attack them. She would want to be appealing, full of charm, as it's in her nature. In other words, a succubus would likely manage to be more respectful to a man than the woman Op is dealing with, and that is saying something. Imo. Stop watching hentai. I don't watch hentai. Question mark? Not sure where you're getting this from. I'm going by the original definition of a succubus from mythology. Son, I have bad news. I don't. Just buck her, and business as always. Break it off before marriage happens. We don't deal with not liking our girl anymore. First I would tell you to communicate it. Then if you still want to run, then run. Cut bait or tell her to get her s together. Unless you're f up and you're not telling us. I feel bad saying this, dude, but break up with her. She's probably just changed now because she thinks she no longer needs to put in the effort to be a good person since she's now got you. It also seems that you guys just aren't compatible. Time to move on, dude. Those feelings you had aren't coming back. It's called getting older. She's changing and so are you. It's normal. That's why PPL shouldn't get married until they're older and have been in the relationship 5+ years minimum. Get rid of her. It's not like you are married. Whole stadium, kick her out. Kick her out. Kick her out. This is why it's so important to move in with someone before marriage. But to answer your question, have a serious convo with her. Either she gets her s together or she's gone. Also, depending on how many years you guys are together, if it's any bit possible, try taking more of the load financially and let her work less hours. She works 6 hours, I work 9, and make the triple amount. The issue is not financial, and can't agree more on moving in before marriage. 6 hours a day is nothing. She's making excuses. Have a conversation with her about it all then. This is why gender roles or roles in a relationship are very important. Cause ain't no way I'm going to be exhausted working 6 hours a day and come home and do nothing. She needs to get more done, especially since she's working less hours and you take more of the burden. Agree with all said before. You should break up with her. She gonna be a problems and brings you disease. Gender roles doesn't applying in this situation. That could be happen in every couple. The horrifying things here is how just she turns everything on her side with no rationality, at least. Reading your part of story,